Hello, Fonschweine, and welcome back to the Eastern Front. Last time we played, we dealt with this whole thing up here, so I don't think we have that much to advance into right now. Looking into the future, we could push around here, the enemy might move into these nodes before us, and we also have this whole partisan formation down here to clear up. Actually just edited and I'm uploading right now the video when we did our anti-partisan combat down here, so that was pretty cool. First time I edited a video in that manner. If you've seen the video, you will understand. Anyway, let's go into the next turn and see what happened in real life and what we will do in game. Okay, cool. So, 24th of August 1943, 15 o'clock. At 12:30, up to 50 German aircraft bombed the positions of the second echelon of the 18th Tank Corps. So, I'm guessing the 5th Guards Tank Army here is, or the 53rd Army might be assigned to the 18th Tank Corps. Guessing. So, yeah. Also, one interesting thing as a subscriber or viewer actually told me about is that a lot of our tanks are susceptible to random breakdowns. So these Panthers, as you can imagine, for sure are, how can you say it? If you know their reputation in real life, you know that these tanks, have a tendency to break down. So that's why we experience so many like transmission and engine failures coming from these tanks, which is very interesting to see modeled. One thing we can see here though is that the enemy has occupied new positions here in the north. They have, however, not been able to get into Sinelitsevka here, on the western bank of the river Uda. So yeah, I will take a look at all of this off screen, and try to make some sense of it all, and I will get back to you guys just when I'm done with that. So see you in a second. Okay, guys, so here we are. This is the second last turn of the campaign. The main offensive operation here on the board will be up here. We will be advancing from Nadtochi here up to, well, actually just show only the map. We will advance from the village Nadtochi up to Farmstead Shpaki up here. And hopefully we can move along here up to, hold on. Yeah, I suspect that we can actually, yeah, we should be able to move into here at least. So we can actually take the southern edge of the village Sinolitsevka. When we have done that, we should have pushed the enemy to his boundaries up here. This portion of the front line, I'm actually gonna let wait until next turn, unless the Soviets feel for attacking me. The tank units up here are running low on ammo, so something is up with the supply lines. Or maybe they've just been fighting so hard, it wouldn't surprise me. We go through so much ammunition in just 2 hours of battle, constant firing from these units. So, I mean, take that for what you will. Anyway, we will let this place be a bit calm unless they choose to attack. And I've also issued 2 attacks towards these partisan units. I will not include this in the gameplay. I will just report on what happened. Because, so if this, for example, is the first battle that triggers, I will have played this battle. You guys understand. You won't get to see any of this because I felt that those battles were very, like, I didn't like playing them, and I imagine that could be, translated into the video. I could hear it in myself, when I played it, that I wasn't having a good time, and even if I had like fun recording or like editing it afterwards, I felt like, oh, I'm listening to this guy, but he does not sound too happy, So I will just, play these off cam, so to say. Anyway, let's hit the next turn button and see what happens. Okay. I hope this battle auto-resolves, because the only units I have here which I can control are my HQ units. So, yeah, that one auto-resolved. And now we have this one, so just one enemy battle group here to panic from our lines. Sudden attack. Okay, this is counted as a sudden attack and our men are panicking. Well, they shouldn't be. We have definitely the upper hand in this engagement. Anyway, I'm gonna play this one off cam and I'll report back to you guys, okay? So see you in a second. You know what, guys? I'm actually gonna include this part, like as a little edited in part, you know, I'm gonna probably chop it up a bit so it's not so boring. But I think this can be interesting as it's such a small battle. And yeah, I actually think, you know, we can get something from this. I'm sorry, I was just a bit mixed up how my units were. Anyway, we have 150 men, you know, only in this battle. So it's a very small battle that can be analyzed in more detail than other ones. So let's just have this one, you know, in our initial orders, move up a little bit. Anyway, so I've set up like TRPs. We have 2 spotters, so that is very nice for this kind of operation. We have our first battle group, actually a unit, the 168th Infantry Division HQ. So, you know, not a combat unit per se. They've been just, I put them to the map's edge, basically. Our second one is actually the, how can you say it? Company commander of the 3rd Battalion of the 4th Motorized Infantry Regiment. So I've assigned to him infantry platoon and some infantry guns and also this spotter. I think this spotter was actually assigned to him from the beginning, but I've assigned an infantry platoon and gun platoon, basically. And here we have the combined battalion commanders. So there's 2 battalion commanders and their subordinates against the Soviet training battalion or training company, I should say. So yeah, it's gonna be a very, you know, the Soviets are still not looking very hot in this episode, but maybe we can learn something. For example, we are not that powerful either, you know. We have a lot, or we're very heavy. We have guns, we have MG platoon, we have support, but we only have like 2 actual maneuver platoons that can do stuff. So, you know, that's gonna be interesting. First off, we're firing with the mortar now to zero in the mortar. So yeah, the fire missions are just gonna try to zero in on this place. We have 1 platoon set up here, Stäble platoon, this tree line, and we have the other one, Kempel, out here in the shrubs in the steppe, basically, and they have like foxholes, so they are very well set up. Both our infantry platoons have a support element. So for Kempel platoon, it's these MG teams from the machine gun platoon, and for Stäble platoon over here, it's these 2 infantry guns. So we can maybe, you know, if there's an actual real battle, we can maybe learn something from how to use like movement support and such things. So yeah, I will get back to you guys when we find the enemy. Also, one little trick before I go. Here, you can right click to accelerate time, so it's gonna go up to 6 times time acceleration, basically. That's very useful in these kind of battles when the enemy is just, you know, holding up. These are basically partisans trying to survive here, I would guess. So, and there's probably not gonna be that many of them. So yeah, just a little trick. See you guys. Okay, first contact being made here. Our MG platoon has found a enemy machine gunner covering in a grenade hold, maybe? That is. They're returning fire now. But we have 4 guns on tripods, so they're just having a hard time actually acquiring the target, so let's see here if we can't call in some mortars on them. Dispersion of 150, that's not the best, but it's gonna be workable. We actually have already killed one of them, but there's nothing that doesn't say that there's more infantry in this area, so let's do that. 5 per gun, 20 rounds in this area, just smoke them out a little bit. Here we can see an interesting thing of this game. We lit a little fire there on the grass. Let's see how hot it is actually. Yeah, 35 degrees Celsius. That will do it. That will make the grass, you know, turn into dust almost. Now MGs from the engineer platoon. Yeah, there we go. We opened up on him. Did good. So what I'm thinking here as well is that I will mainly use Stäble platoon as a maneuver element. Just Kempel is a bit undersized. They have been reduced in previous battles. And they also have these nice foxholes, so they can be more of a vice in the train. Like an actual vice, you know, that you find in I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but here we find another target. Oh, several actually. But they are getting dealt with swiftly, I feel. Yeah. Nice work from the MGs. Anyway, it's like a mechanical vice that you find in a workshop, you know. Yeah, they're gonna keep suppressing here. And here we can find, as I suspected earlier, when there's one, there's two, when there's two, there's three, you know, there's always something with these guys. It's a good idea. Even if you spot only one soldier, you know, that's, he probably has friends. Oh, and they're actually calling for a ceasefire already, the Soviets are, which makes me feel like they do not have that many men to begin with. Anyway, let's have Stäble. Let's check his, yeah, that's good. Move from here. So first take up position in this bush line, basically. And then he can move on to the objective. So here's actually a zeroing fire from this spotter, so he should be looking for those impacts right now. Trying to find out where the artillery is striking. There should appear a little white triangle above his head when he feels that he's gotten tight enough with the impacts, or you know. So we can actually, I can wait for that for you guys, so we will find out if that appears. There we go. And that's the little white triangle there. So now he's done with this targeting over here. He should move on to the next one, I feel like. Or maybe he will fire off one more to make sure, but a little white triangle should be good good enough. Oh. Okay, so these are impacts now from our infantry guns as well here. Okay, so I mean, I think the white triangle is that, oh, it's within the targeting area. Now we need to really tighten it up. So that white triangle is actually, you know, the triangle is a common symbol, like militarily speaking, for the, you know, artillery spotters and such things. So here we have, as I said, you know, when there's one, there's two. So Stäble is enemy retreats, and there we go. Yeah, we didn't get so much out of this battle, but you know, it was something at least. And as we can see here from the enemy, there was only 32 enemies on the field in total. So, you know, not this is more like what I'm experienced with when it comes to these anti-partisan operations. The previous one, the one that was actually, you know, a whole episode just about it, previous partisan operation, that is, we faced off way more enemies than this. That was, like, in my opinion, very unusual. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing board. I'm about to say to the operational map. As we can see now, the enemy has been destroyed there. I think once you have destroyed them, when they first you destroy them out here, you encircle them or route them. They appear here behind your lines, and then you can destroy them again. So yeah, we will see this battle that the enemy forced here might have actually cancelled out our push with these tanks. Anyway, the enemy is trying here up in the north again. We will see how that goes for him. This will be the main battle for this episode then, I guess. Okay, here we can see the fighting field. We've really pushed them to the edge of the river here, as you can see. Their beachhead has been nearly terminated, or how can you say it, neutralized. Here we have a arrived unit, which is so weird because I don't believe that, or maybe it is, and maybe I moved these guys too far. on the operational map, I think you should be able to move one node without being put in this arrived state. So this is gonna be a bit hairy, especially here. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna need a lot of fire onto this area to protect this like retreat. I want these units to take up position here, obviously. So yeah, might be me that's done something dumb, but I don't believe I have. Honestly, I do not believe I've done something really stupid here. Yeah, and these are also counted as arrived. I'm sure I've only moved this one node at a time. Might be that they're attacked whilst moving, that they get intercepted. I really don't like this, that they get, you know, this arrived thing, because what the heck, you know, it's really, you know, a huge part of this game is placing out your units, and then when you're, this is like the biggest nerf you can actually give someone, I feel like, in Mius front, is just not letting them place them out. I would much rather have some kind of stat modifier, like, oh, they're exhausted or whatever. I much rather than this, you know. Takes a bit away from the game, I feel like. Anyway, another interesting thing I found out. A whole lot of battle groups in this engagement. Oh my goodness. Let's go through them all. There, Grube. This Panzerbefehlwagen, or command tank, Panther command tank, is immobilized, as we can see. The engine is broken. We have not used this tank, or this tank has taken no impacts at all. We have used it, but we have not taken any impacts to it. So that tells me that it really reinforces my theory, or what the other commenter wrote, that these vehicles like break down, even like not when you're in this 3D mode. They also break down in the operational mode. Anyway, so we're gonna just have a look here and see how many guys we have on the field. That should have caught everyone. Yeah, nearly 1,000. A lot of dudes, and I think the Soviets are gonna be in for a nasty surprise, just as they were last time trying to attack us across this open field. I don't think it's gonna go that well for them. Might catch some of these guys out though. They might. But I will get back to you guys after I've put everyone down and, you know, how can you say it? Yeah, put everyone down and given any eventual orders, or, you know, those things. So see you in a bit. Okay, so here we are. There's a lot of companies to go through. I don't think I have I don't think it's timely that I go through each and every one of them, but I will try to lay out a big plan, basically. You can see that some of these units are not really looking set up. For example, this here. This is one of the companies that were in an arrived state from earlier then. So they have basically been told to first move back fast, no formation, no nothing, just run as fast as they can here, and then when they've grouped up here, take up a firing line towards this direction. And that's basically the whole plan for all of these guys. I've set up as much support as I can. This company, which is the 7th company of the SS, that is, they did not have a good placing area. They were very confined, like here. So I put their infantry parts like here, so they can later move out, how can you say it, into fighting positions around this area. Over here we have one of our, what will this be? This is the 2nd company, very, you know, reduced company, as well as many of the other SS ones. However, they are dug in, or no, I found like they were very confined as well in their, like, how I could deploy them. They could basically only be deployed here. But I found some like foxholes that have been dug here, so I put the infantry platoons here, basically. The tanks, as we can see, Tigers running low on ammo. The only usable tank basically in the whole company is this Panther here, which has both ammo and doesn't have like a transmission failure or anything. They also have this cool, like, how can you say it? What does that stand for? Schwere Feldhowitzer. So basically a heavy field howitzer. So these French captured 155mm guns. Will be pretty cool to see those in action, to get any shots off. I should also tell their trucks to get back here as quickly as they can. So take the road. They are supported here by this, what will this be? A heavy tank company, which is suffering as well. You know, they have low ammo. So this tiger has been told to hold back, basically. And also the Panzerbefehlwagen, so the, how can you say it, command tanks are also running low on ammo. This one is immobilized. They aren't doing too hot. We've been running these guys, you know, into the ground these last couple turns. And yeah, that's what you get for it. However, we have managed to push the Soviets in a very nice way. So, you know, that's what you win, basically, by doing that. And these Panthers, you know, they just break down by, if you look at them, like, wrong. So, over here we have the company B of the combined battalion belonging to the 168th Infantry Division. They have been told their infantry platoons to, you know, spread out in the field, basically, get on a firing line, so we get as many guns as possible towards the enemy direction. Here, I think we have the company C. No, this is actually company A of the same combined battalion. They have set up a little fighting position up here. They have some nice lines of sights. They have these anti-tank guns, which can work against the infantry as well, you know, just here on the edge. You know, I think I can be pretty, at this point, you know, pretty, not lackadaisical, but, you know, the Soviets have been reduced very heavily in the last, you know, 2 days of fighting. So have we, but I think they have less heavy equipment than we do, a lot less. So we should be good. Over here we have the 9th Infantry Company belonging to the 848th Infantry Regiment of the Heer, the regular German army, not the Waffen-SS, set up in western Sinolitsevka. The enemy is staging somewhere here. Fire missions to deal with that have been put out. First of all, we have fire missions here to cover our retreat. But other than that, we have these fire missions set up here from the heavy howitzer that can hopefully do something. No other spotters can really reach that designate or that like place. So these guys are a bit on their own, I must say. We have set up here with the 2 fire missions that will go with 20 rounds instantly to cover these retreating units. Unit lost. Yep. MGs that aren't doing too good. I set these guys up. I looked at them before the battle. I checked out, are you guys good? And they said intact and everything, but they're immobilized. I think that might just be because there's too few men to carry them around, but it seems like they're abandoning the gun. It says abandon there, so I think these guys are just gonna leave the machine gun, even though it's still serviceable. You can instantly see green flares coming from here, so these guys better get a move on as quickly as possible. They are surely in the way, like in the enemy's line of fire. We do have some units set up to cover them, but there was no way really to set up here, which is bad for us, and no way to set up here either. So yeah, hopefully this fire missions and these units, like we have 2 models, yeah. Remember, these are from the 7th Company. They were reduced to 1, but somehow we got 2. I don't know where the other one came from, but, you know, we have 2 now, so that's good for me. Some MGs here as well as the 7th Company's infantry platoons making their way out here to get into some kind of covering position. We also have this mechanized recon platoon that we can make some use of. So yeah. I think the most interesting here is like if there's actually a formidable enemy staging around here trying to attack Sinolitsevka. I think that will be very cool to see, some building to building fighting. Anyway, here we can find our first fire mission impacting just into the dirt around here, you know, if there's enemies set up here. I don't know. It was just a guess from my... Here we go. Yeah, we're taking fire here on the homestead. Peterson should definitely, you know, think about how they're moving. You guys can get over here. You guys get over there. Who else is under fire? Oh, out here in the field. Okay, we're actually spotting Soviet infantry over here. And they're taking mortar fire here in the trenches. This could be cool to see. So here we can see trenches are being bombarded by the mortars. Now we're firing back at the Soviet infantry that's pushing up. See, this is the real frontline position. Very cool. No casualties as of yet. Tanks are helping out as well, are the mechanized doing here. Look at this. So that's a pretty cool like unit composition we have here with the half-tracks, tigers and panthers. And here we can see the 3.7mm working hard. Okay, we have taken our first casualty. Where can we guess that will be then? Will it be among these units? Yep, actually I narrowed it down very quickly. I think we can count out these hero guns, these heavy anti-tank rifles, sadly. I've really enjoyed playing with those through the campaign, but so it's always sad for me to see them falling into harm's way. Let's dissect a bit more the battlefield. Over here we can find enemy trucks, presumably belonging to a HQ unit. One of you guys told me about this. As there are so few men in the back here, you know, if this was a regular motorized unit, this would be, you know, filled to the brim with infantrymen, but they aren't. So that leads me to believe that they are, in fact, part of HQ units or supply units. Here we have a unit of Soviet anti-tank riflemen. And here we can see some movement actually by Sinolitsevka. So that's gonna be cool. Okay. Let's try to follow this. But these guys are actually getting, you know, quite good. They're getting out of the line of action quite well. Here we can see the enemies pushing up on our position. I have set up MGs here. So I suspected just such a thing. So let's see if he can get eyes on. Here they're crossing. Getting bogged down by our fire. He is moving up. MG seems to not be finding targets right now. Pretty bad, because that's exactly why I put him here. Instead of the fighting is being done mostly here by these units. They're also being intercepted here from the left, we can see. That's nice. Oh, now I think the MGs should be finding some targets. Yep. Nice work. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Here they're finding them as well as they're crossing into across the fence here. I thought they managed to snag one Soviet over here. Good work. Someone can't combat. Okay, this big gun has taken actually quite some impact. Seems like it's being targeted by the anti-tank rifles. That's sad. I had hoped for them. Now, let's see here. As we have... Yeah. These anti-tank rifles... something like this should be good. Just wondering how long it's gonna take. Maybe we will just eradicate them. Or destroy them all before the rounds actually impact. But let's send off 18 rounds from the Nebelwaffes from this position. We're catching a lot of trucks out here, by the way. We're spotting a lot of trucks. So this might just be a whole HQ. So these guys can feast. That's good. Let's see, do they have any spotters over here? This is Lipet's platoon, okay. Oh, they are advancing way further than I would like them to be. I would like them to be, like, about where Pence is right now. They can hold right there. Let's see, Wagner. Yeah, you have a spotter here. They're preparing fire missions. We're gonna catch these guys when the fire missions are done being prepared. It's gonna be no problem. Gonna be A-okay. Okay. And here we can spot the enemies being targeted, but they're managing to infiltrate somewhat competently as well. So we will see some action, I think, in this village. Oh yeah, that was a good fire mission, I believe. Oh, and that was a direct impact, I would think, from this gun. Very big explosion. Yeah, another one, I think. Maybe. Or maybe that was the... no, I don't think it is. Let's see here. Unit lost, can't combat. Yeah, you guys, sadly. He's bugging out. He's doing the dolphin. Unit lost. What the heck? Why? Oh, well, okay. They're finding targets from all the way back here, huh? These guys can just hold fire. Too risky for them to fire across their own heads. Bog down. Yeah. Okay, these guys are getting stuck. But that's fine. I don't care. They can just be there. Under fire is being reported here from the 9th Company. Which is now taking... or coming into action. Okay. Cool. We have managed to get Petason over here safely, as well Putsch is making his way over. So, Petason, you guys can actually force the enemy a little bit. Set up a firing line just right out here. Anyone here will be forced by this platoon, hopefully, to act, you know, upon what's going on. And this platoon I'm gonna hold off outside here to reinforce here when needed, so they will be in reserve for Sinolitsevka. Here we can see armadas, MGs, everyone. So the MGs seem to be having a duel situation with the anti-tank riflemen of the Soviets, but it looks like we're winning if you look at all of this. How can you say it? We have a lot of fire. The enemy wants a ceasefire already. Okay, that's not gonna happen, buddy. Okay, let's see. Are these trucks moving? Yeah, they're trying to retreat, these trucks. Okay. Big impacts around here. Soviets are straight up not having a good time, but they're good at digging in. I'll give them that. That is one thing that in real life, almost any, like all first-hand accounts I've read from the Eastern Front, basically, I would say there's very few that have not mentioned just how good the Soviet foot soldier was at, you know, digging a hole and getting in it. It was like, you know, you could look at him and then he was gone because he had dug his foxhole and gotten into it. But that's a classic, you know, like you say it, attribute of the Soviet rifleman. And now the Nebelwerfers are impacting. That was the first round. Zero in this fire mission, and then we will see if we get any more. Probably will. And red flares are popping as well. Here we can see the second. Another zeroing around. We will see a whole barrage come soon. You see tracers all over the place. Look at this shit. This is amazing. Bird zeroing around. There we go, that's the barrage. Those AT riflemen must be having a very bad day. Let's see. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. They're all okay. Oh well. Well, it was a nice show for us then instead. So these trucks, have they stopped over here? Yep, it seems like they're getting... Or are they? I'm interested if this keeps on going. They should be trying to stop around here or something. Let's see, where's their staging area at? Yeah, they're right in their own staging area. Yeah, let's try to catch them. 40 rounds. Get them, boys. Interesting, these tanks can also hold fire. Okay. This squad can move a bit more to this way so they don't start getting into combat over here. Now this heavy howitzer should start targeting over here. Do have mortars, but I'll just wait for the M.5 to have zeroed in all its fire missions. Oh, receiving some kind of MG fire over here. Oh, he's taking a hit. These guys are firing straight into the fence, making their bullets go haywire. Go left to right and all over the place. Okay, hold on now. These guys are actually on the move. Let's do this instead. With maybe 5 no. They were... I'll try to hunt them down, but this is gonna be interesting. Quite a long time as well, 2 minutes, you know, a lot can happen in 2 minutes. Let's just try to do this instead. So, a lot of possible locations, you know, instead. Will this be the last hurrah of the Soviet riflemen in this campaign, maybe? I'm not too impressed with the AI here, trying to attack like this. What you would do as the Soviets here, if you only have infantry, you know, you try to scrape together what heavy units you have and set up along the railroad here, especially, you know, this area. Maybe try for a push into Sinolitsevka, where our armor and stuff doesn't matter that much, you know. Can't do as much in a city. And here they come again, huh? Well, let's force them a bit. Let's move Lipat up here to the Tumulusas. Let's see. You are finishing up. Knew it was a good idea to get some fire mission like your TRP set up out here. The first artillery strike is beginning here. Soviets have moved away already. We can just disengage all those attempts. See, we can kinda do something like this, I feel. Let's try that for now. Hard to catch moving targets with artillery, especially during World War II, you know? Keep using Petason. Try to push up here. And one squad from Putsch up here. Together with his squad leader. Or platoon leader behind. Okay. These guys are just about getting done. Okay. Could have had one over there, but no adjustment fire failed. They could not find this impact here. This one is good though. Okay. So what I think we want is just a lot of high explosive here. Who's under fire now? You guys are reporting that you're under fire. Ah, you're fine. You're fine. This platoon has taken... Aw, Michle, that was already reduced, took one casualty. How sad. So Lippet over here, how's it going for you guys? Yeah, you should be starting to find the enemy. And here we go, this artillery strike will be, I think, perfect. We've already killed one truck with its occupants, so yeah, going good. Nice targeting. That's from the... No? Nope. Heavy howitzer should be impacting over here. Let's see this now. It should starting to... Yep, here we go. Ambushing the Soviet HQ unit. Very nice work. And if they try to retreat, they will drive right into an artillery barrage. Nice. That's nice. That's nice. And there goes the artillery impacts. Beautiful. That one looked straight on. Was it? I don't know. Here we can see old burnt out SU-152s in the background. Truck drivers should be thinking about turning around. Let's see to it that these guys Lippet soon hold their positions so they don't push past this point and move into their own fire mission, which I think we can actually just, you know, turn off by now. There's no reason to have this. The infantry is doing just splendid. Madas are not acquiring any targets. Let's see. This is the gunner seat. That's his sight right there, you can see. Let's see what he can see from here. A lot of explosions. Oh, I can definitely see Soviets moving around. You're doing your job badly, Fritz. But he's all bloodied, of course he doesn't care about his job. He wants to go home to his Dorf in Bavaria or something. Key point taken. Oh, Tumulus is over here. Okay, cool. Cool. Peterson is taking fire. Have this squad push up a little bit more. And Peterson move with caution. Okay. Now let's have these guys set up along the road here in Sinelitsevka. Gerhard Kohle made a really interesting move out here, I must say. They can move up to the line with Peterson. Gerhard can as well move up just right onto the enemy. Try to really force them around, you know. Bully them a little bit. Now these guys are engaging dismounts and, you know, people that actually survived this ambush. We did manage to get all of the trucks though, I think, which is good. We could call in the fire mission again to just 3 rounds per gun to just, you know, like you said, make their life a little easier. It seems like they're getting on with it though, but, you know, doesn't hurt. Oh, enemy field gun or AT gun, what is this? M42, 45mm AT gun. Right where we have the incoming barrage from the heavy howitzer. Very nice. Yeah, you guys can be bogged down, I don't care. This is right where I wanted you. Nice. Nice. Mortars back here are finding some targets. Let's see. They were unable to establish the wire link, which is very interesting. The how can you say it? Link layers, the wire layers are right here. Maneuver control is turned on for the AI. Here it says they're laying wire link, but nobody's moving, and it's gone. It's been over 20 minutes now. Oh, a bit weird. Another a bit gruesome detail here is due to previous battles. Basically every, yeah, you can see the Soviet bodies here. It's crazy amount we have killed just in front of this forest or this tree line. But basically almost every position in which we are staging and, you know, setting up. So this command post, this company command post, which has been you know, turned into a fighting position. They have a spotter here, they have a AT gun here, some machine gunners, more machine gunners, everything here. The corpses of the enemy are still, you know, present among our men's current fighting positions, which is, you know, first of all, as a, like, if I were their commander, I would, like, first of all, I would be worried about the hygiene in that, you know. It's very bad, you know, to be in the presence of human corpses, especially, you know, when it's 35 degrees Celsius outside. You know, that would be the worst smelling place you can imagine in real life. A bit, you know, we're lucky that we are not like in some kind of 5D theater where we can smell that. I at least am pretty sensitive to smells, so, you know, I would not have fun. I would not have a great old time, let's say. Now this platoon leader actually march up somewhere here. Enemy, how do you say it? AT gun being moved around. No way for us to get any good rounds on target though. However, this tree line, let's hit it with 12 rounds of incendiary afterwards and 40 rounds of high explosive. And let's see here, some people have told me about some here. This I want to turn on, maybe not just here inside the forest. In this situation, impact fuses is probably a bad idea because they will explode like on contact with the trees. But in other cases, such as like in the open terrain, a lot of people have told me that impact fuses are superior. I've forgotten about that until now when suddenly it came to me. So yeah, I'll try to keep that in mind going forward. This guy took a impact like here and is returning fire already. Very impressive battle, like discipline. That's a truck being, and as we can see, the impacts are just meters from the Soviet, and it's still, you know, no problem fighting on. That's your own truck with a dead driver driving around. Let's quit this fire mission, save the ammo to just see this, because that would be pretty cool, I think. Now they're preparing the 12 times incendiary round fire mission. Butch is moving along nicely. And they've gotten into formation here, we can move them around a bit more. Try to nag this AT gun would be pretty cool. Which is now actually firing. They're firing probably at our infantry formation in the open. So we need to actually, I feel like, get a move on here. Putsch, you're on the job. Let's, without formation, with maneuvers, push up quite quickly here. You guys can push up together with them, actually. You can just form up here or something. That should be fine. But these two squads move out this way. That would be good. Now here the 12 rounds of incendiary should strike the forest. We can disregard that one though in favor of something. Let's see here. Something like this. And here we can see our first impacts. And of course, I forgot instantly about the impact fuses. Let's just try to target any place where I suspect they might be firing from. Okay, Putsch is moving along nicely. These two squads, that is. Okay. So, let's have one of these squads set up defense around here. And the other one, I want to attack. However, they can do it methodically. They don't need to be fast with it. Along here should be good. We have some time before this fire mission takes place, I feel like. One of the squads should now be getting into buildings and stuff. It can actually maybe push up a bit. Yeah, and they don't need to be... hold. They're getting contacted and have already taken 2 casualties and they're tired. Not good. Let's do something like that. These guys, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do it like this. Because we are, I think, yeah, we are taking some casualties out here. Not heavy though. We're doing good. Can you see all the way out there? Maybe. Let's turn on the MADAs. Why can't I set a target for observed fire with the MADAs? Interesting. Okay. These guys are getting into this building very nicely. These guys are pushing up. There's an MG over here though. And we need to be mindful of, I feel. Yeah. It ripped into these two guys. Took them out. Okay. Any contact? Anything new? Nope. Beautiful here. Burning the forest on fire with the incendiary. I wish forests were easier to light on fire with incendiary rounds. Place like this when it's summer, 35 degrees outside. Put some like 12 incendiary rounds there from a 15 like or 105mm howitzer. Gonna be nice. Under fire, being reported from here. Okay. That's fine. This putsch squad should get on a line towards here. Feel like team leader can push up this way. Now this one is actually taking some casualties. Yeah, they're getting bogged down and taken out. They can hold there because now this fire mission is being triggered. This is about as close as you want to be to that. And even then it's being a bit, you know, stupid with it, I would say. See. Pettersson. Let's see. No. Eckhart. Yeah. We have these platoons. We haven't even done anything with them. Let's have them all push up this way and help out these two squads out here. Would be a good idea. So what was it now? Nope. I think this one is immobilized as well, yeah. Sad, sad, sad. So this squad has already taken 4 casualties here trying to push up. This was quite a well-defended position the Soviets had. I'm curious what you're firing at too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Might be trying to target out here, huh? You guys can hold. Pettersson instead should push up to you. Yeah, hot. You guys can definitely, I feel like, push up a bit more. Cool. You can set up along around here, I feel like. You get under fire, I think that's Gerhard, yep. Well, that's fine. They can be under fire. Not the worst thing to be. This probably is. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. This probably is not one of the... over here we find one of the lost trucks. See then. Well, let's give it to him good. Quite a big spread on the for dispersion, but so let's give him quite a few rounds. Here, these guys. 3 guys, just right next to each other. Look at this, the 3 musketeers. Switching between different positions. Amazing. Can they kill 1 Soviet? Maybe. We don't know. Something is now this Puck 40, which is immobilized owing to the loss of crew. He did manage to actually find this gun. Let's see here. Maybe we can give him a little, how do you say it? Priority targeting of the gun. There we go. Now he should try to at least hit this gun. Actually, let's give everyone a priority target on this gun. That's the single most... Oof. The single most, like, I think that might have, like... No, it didn't. But this is the single most dangerous unit the Soviets have on the field. And this was a beautiful, beautiful fire mission. I think that's our sign to use these platoons. Push them up like so. Push them up like so. So did we manage to knock the gun out? Looks like it. Yep, gun is not operational. Beautiful. So I have Eckhart hold here. Hansna hold here. That should be fine. Who do you belong to? You're one of Putsch. One of the squad, like the squad leading squads members, or whatever you want to call it. The infantry platoon leaders squad. Okay. As we can see, we're trying to target here with the 15 centimeter. Not going that well. Quite a big dispersion out there. Wish I could have something for the Nebelwerfer here, but we don't. Seems finally that we're actually pushing them into the forest line here. So let's not have immediate action and try to put a bunch of rounds into the forest line we talked about. But out here in the field, immediate action fuses or impact fuses should be better, from what I was told. Enemy oh, back here. I don't know who could spot this. The impossible spot, I would say. You guys can just... Putsch has gotten quite spread, like, how can you say, dispersed. So these two squads, let's just have them move back as such. And then get on a firing line out towards here or something like that should be fine. Their jobs have been relieved of them by Eckhart and Pantsna platoons. But this is pretty cool fighting. Here we can see the enemy position. Anti-tank. Ooh, he bouncing around. God dang. These houses have been demolished by the howitzer as well. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see, I wonder if this fire mission has gotten any further. No. I must say it hasn't. It's getting closer and closer though. Gerhard. What is Michla doing? Not good. Gantna, not that good either. They can act as one platoon together and push up to the road here. if you want to call this a road. In Soviet Russia, this is most definitely a road. But maybe a pathway. Guys are moving along quite nicely. Here we can see impacts actually from the platoon mortar. Ooh, nice. I think I even spotted the round in, like the physical round, you know, in the air there. And he should be a goner. Now this heavy howitzer has been, all of its fire missions have been performed and it cannot do anymore. It's strictly for scheduled, like it can only be scheduled. So let's use Pantsna and push him out to the road here. Like so. And have Eckhart. Well, try to set up something like here, I mean, it'd be good. And here, I think this is, I don't know how who could spot him back there? I don't know, that's so weird, so odd. Obviously this fire mission isn't gonna go anywhere. Baumann. Push up all these guys, just line formations in the step. Gonna be fine, guys, don't worry. And these guys can set up. I'm afraid they will be intercepted. Oh, okay. I managed to cancel that at least somehow. So these guys can actually set up maybe somewhere along here so they can defend these two platoons flank. Let's see, here's Pence. These guys, yeah, we have these guys. They're actually in just a really nice condition. Under fire, yeah. This is the platoon-wide push as well. Eckhart getting into defensive positions and Pantsna moving past them. If everything goes to plan. Pantsna, you can actually, I think, be told to push out here. Maybe it's a tall ask. I don't know. Peterson is doing alright. Cool over here. Yeah, we can hold our positions. We have fire missions on the way. Yeah, hot. And definitely start getting closer. Michle and Gantner are moving way further than they're intended. Further than I intend for them. Okay, but dang, when I stopped them, their MGs open up. That was beautiful. But I want them on a line. But if this works for them, let's have them hold here. Don't ruin something good because you want perfection. Damn, his co-driver is all lumped over and he's just sitting there. That's crazy. That is crazy, honestly. Whew. Wagner, if we remember, this is the unluckiest platoon of them all, I would say. Now working as flank defense for Baumann and Lippert platoons. Okay. Key point taken. Yeah, Tushpakovka, that's not even a viable key point. Let's see here. You guys. Let's try to set up this firing line. Ooh. That was a heavy impact. I wonder what from. Oh, dang. Okay, this is not gonna go as I want for them. Let's hold and set up back here. Yes, smell it. It's gonna be a bad idea. Hansna is moving, taking ground beautifully. Exemplarily. If that's even a word in English. It's in Swedish. Exemplarist. Exemplary. I think you would pronounce it. I don't know. Let's have Hansna hold here. Ekat. Hope you guys are ready for tasking. You are to reinforce Pansna platoon. Yes. Get up there. Now, Putsch is kinda gathered. They took quite some casualties, didn't they? They can get on a line here. Let's do that next instead. Very nice. Wagner platoon out there is prosecuting targets. We really forced them now. This should lead to their destruction, I feel like. Look at the Soviet position. They have nowhere to run, nowhere to like... There would be in real life no way for these men to flee from here. Here we go. Getting into close contact. But he cannot see him. Can he? Oh, but he could see him. It's over. Oh, he got him! But he's wounded. Okay. Rare encounter where we actually beat the Soviet in the grenade throwing match. Oh well. I don't know, guys. Should we be happy with this? I feel so, because otherwise, if you look at the bell, next episode would probably be pretty boring if it's just me hunting these guys in the woods. So, ooh, another one. Another one. And another one. If you guys get that reference, shout out to all of you. Oh, and damn, he snapped 2 Soviets here. Very nice work from him. But he's been grenaded like 5 times. This guy has more like splinter in his body, you know. That's crazy with the stolen Soviet SVT. Beautiful work. Anyway, I feel as if the next episode will probably be pretty boring if I don't quit it about here, but we can keep going. If we don't get a retreat within like the next 11 minutes, we will call it off. But there is a chance that we can get that. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going for now. Let's have these guys try to cross this little body of water, get around. Think we're getting eyes onto the truck. Yeah. We definitely are. Still fine though. Did we find any enemies out here? No. I don't think so. Wagner, you can definitely, I feel like, in a bit maybe start pushing up when we start getting this fire mission on target. Okay. Let's have Ekat push up just slightly more. And then have Pansna move in behind them. Oh damn. 2 more casualties. Ekat commander was killed. That's no good. Let's have you guys hold. You're gonna freak out. Here we can see probably the platoon leaders were killed. The platoon leader was killed. Nice work from the Soviets. In a target-rich environment, they picked the correct target. But there's no chance. No chance. Let's have you guys get out here then. Just no formation, no nothing, just go fast. Run. Sometimes I'm just checking because sometimes you get lucky. The spotter has eyes or something, but no. Today. Peterson, you can definitely, I feel like, do this faster. Let's just turn that off so we don't forget, but yeah. I'm presuming that we killed this truck out here now. Yeah, we did. Good work. And I think these guys, their mission this way is over. So let's have Lippet set up this way. Baumann, you can push all the way out here, I feel like. Getting no good impact or no good targeting for the 15 centimeter spotter. Oh Christ, we're really moving on to them now, aren't we? Let's hold here. Let's have these guys hold. Don't go into the forest too far when there's Soviets around. This part I feel should be reinforced the most with Ekat platoon. Here we can see, this is so cool to see when they're bounding like this. Here we can see it's the machine guns, you know, that win battles or win infantry to infantry combat. When you look at it a bit more like soberly, you will realize that the regular rifle, even in this, is not good. Even in today's time, the regular rifle is purely like how can you say, comforting tool for the rifleman. Like very few casualties in modern warfare, and in like I will count World War II as modern warfare. It was basically the beginning of modern warfare. You know, it's machine guns, it's how do you say it? It's machine guns, it's artillery, it's airstrikes, all of that. That is what, you know, gets, how can you say it? What kills enemies. Regular assault rifles and like carbines and such things, rifles, whatever you wanna say, they are not it, you know. They are not what kills the enemy. You guys should almost get up here, I feel like, but we're not getting it. Nope, we're not. We can't target this gun. That gun can lay waste to this whole play, or to this whole infantry formation out here. We're not careful. And as we can see, we took 2 casualties right here. That's where I said I think we would be the most exposed to the enemy. Had just a little premonition that we would have some problems there. Now it's good, but it's gonna take too long. Or no, it wasn't good. It was good a little bit. Yeah, 240, that's like acceptable dispersion. And here we can see that, yes, this infantry formation is taking fire. So they should just get back and try to dig in around here. Baumann, you can get back and dig in there. These guys just need to flee basically at this point. This is Pettersson. Yep. They have moved up onto the enemy very nicely. Although a lot of their units are held back. I don't know why. You guys can push up quickly to here. See if we can do something. Last minutes. You guys also should push up quickly on the enemy. Just reinforce the front line somehow. Feel like we're the weakest just here, so maybe do that. Have a race with Putsch platoon. Who gets there fastest. And these guys don't need to move fast, but they need to move up here. Or here we could see actually, no, I thought that was an impact from the 45mm, but these guys definitely need to get back and take cover. Lest they be undone by this cruel Soviet gun, which is in a very nice position to fire upon them. They have nothing to say about it. Yeah, I don't know. I do not want to enter this forest. I do not want to go into the forest with the Soviets. I feel as if this gun, it should not have any more. Yeah, they can actually see quite well from here, but I don't think they should be able to spot my units. They are behind the berm now. Yeah, it's just catching. The rounds are catching up here on the berm. Guys are getting away. Nicely. Good work. These guys are setting up here as well nicely. That's good, that's good. Captives taken over here. Cool. So they are surrendering. Now maybe these 2 platoons have are able to move up a bit. They got pretty heavily, you know, suppressed by that MG, I would believe. Or I had a bad feeling about it. I sure did, but now we should be able to move a bit more freely. Yeah, well, let's call it there. We have really managed to do something great here. I think right now we're moving into zones. Yeah, we can see it. They're marked with this black square here where we can't actually keep the ground that we occupy, so all of this is just, we can't even really move here, seems. Cool. 48 casualties in the end. That was a big jump in casualties at the end there. But yeah, as I said, it was, I don't understand why they attacked us. They had 16 platoons to move with barely any heavy equipment. The only thing in this battle that was like out of our control was how we, like, that we had some arrived companies. Other than that, I feel as if we had this whole battle strictly under our control. They destroyed one of my guns and MGs. Yeah, that might be the heavy anti-tank rifle that we talked about earlier. Let's see. You said something about unit lost, but I don't think you received any impacts at all. No. You just wanted to say that, but your engine broke out of gameplay. Interesting. I don't think we took any impacts at all to any vehicles. You know, actual vehicles. And as I say that, they managed to wound our that might have been why they had a issue targeting. I don't know. But they managed to hit us with the 14.5mm here, with it ruining our sight, damaging the sight of the gun and damaging the gunner. This one managed to escape any such treatment. Let's see. Oh, these tanks they're good. They just have no ammunition at all. No ammo to speak of. I wonder where we took those last losses or those last casualties. Let's see here as well what killed you. Ah, yeah. You were direct impacted, I would presume, by... Let's see here. This way. Yeah, I would presume by the Mada. Got a direct impact with a AP shell on this one. Nice work. Anyway, let's see here. Ooh. Army Forward Detachment HQ. Oh my gosh. We really nagged a high value unit here. An army level unit we'd managed to ambush here. However, they were very stupid moving it like this. So I don't think we can take too much glory in it. It would have been a nice ambush if this was like a motorized infantry unit, but yeah. How did they manage to escape further punishment? The 92nd Guards Rifle Regimental HQ. Interesting. Well, as we can see, no Soviet infantry was left unpunished, and we managed to kill the 80 gun here, Melnikov. I think that's Miller would be the appropriate translation of that. Melnik, Melnitsa is how do you call it? I don't know the word. I would put up a picture here, maybe. What's it called? Melnitsa. It's one of those spinny things. Anyway, I'll put up a picture. I can't find a word right now. Let's go back to the operational map. Okay, cool. So we did regain control here, which is nice. And now we're gonna attack here, which is even nicer. I think these two companies have managed to escape a bit unscathed, I would presume, considering that they're across the river. So maybe we'll actually have an actual fight here. And it will be nice to be able to actually move on this side of the river for once. So that will be fun. So anyway, that's for the next episode. So if you want to know how this battle went, you're gonna have to check the next episode. Until then, take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.